ran a 50-mile race, I broke my back. I lost feeling all down my leg. But then I learned my life's mission is to bring people together.
Tyler Swartz, he is the founder of Endorphins Running,
the company that's redefining running through connection.
All I wanted to do was talk about running. I remember texting my boss, like, I want to make running my life. All my energy was going to my job, but my heart was in running. And the second that I was able to take the leap of faith, Endorphins generated about $100,000 in revenue.
In a single month?
In a day.
You also have a team of 3 people. How does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question.
In the New York Marathon, what are they supposed to be bringing with them to fuel them for the entire race?
In the minimum, you want 20 grams of carbs per hour.
Are there any big, like, do not do this the day of a race?
Don't try anything new.
Have you ever ran a race and you've had to go to the bathroom during it?
Well, let's talk about the Tokyo Marathon.
Let's talk about that.
Well,
New York Marathon just ended. So we hopped on a phone call and you described it as like you're putting on a wedding. And it was a pretty sick wedding. And I didn't understand like the breadth of it until I saw all this stuff on social media and until I walked past the Shakeout Run on Saturday. And I saw a line wrapped around. I don't know what street this is, but you have your pop-up here, a line wrapped around the entire thing. I was like, holy shit, bro. Like, holy shit, this is no joke. But New York City Marathon done. You just passed it. What's one word that just comes to mind?
right now it's tired.
Tired?
Yeah, but that was the best shit ever. That's my favorite weekend of the year, and we can support so many different athletes and people, and it's like a huge celebration. I don't know if you saw any of the videos of people celebrating the streets.
Dude, I saw so many.
Yeah, it's the best day in the world. It's euphoric. So,
Yeah.
but right now, tired is my word because I didn't sleep much, and we put our heart and soul into it. When you put your heart and soul into anything,
Yeah.
you need to take a break. And sadly, I don't have time to take a break right now. So,
Bro, what does nobody know about what it takes to put on that event?
It's
like,
funny.
I'm really curious
it's
about
funny.
that.
I was on a city bike. I'm a huge city bike person.
I hate city bikes.
What? All right, we need to cut this. Cut it now. I'm a huge city bike person.
Yeah.
I like when I take phone calls. Sometimes I'm on a city bike, and people will be like, "Are you in your car?" They know that I'm like that. I call the city bike my car. I've logged 1,000 miles on the thing. So I'm on a city bike over here, and I'm trying to think about like just reflect in a moment of pause because I've been moving really fast the past couple of days. I haven't had a second to chill.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like I need to be posting on TikTok more about what goes into making these events happen.
Seriously.
But I think that's also the magic of it is like you show up and it's there for you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about any of the stresses of making sure buses are showing up at 4:30 in the morning the day before the marathon. You don't have to worry about the caterers. You don't have to worry about the alcohol and the beer and the food and the coffee and setting up coffee machines and serving 30,000 units of product in 4 days. So I think I'm going to keep it a secret on TikTok.
You got to give us some. You got to give us some.
Yeah, I mean, we served in the past month 10,000 coffees to people in Chicago and in New York. Before the month of October, I'd never served one coffee before.
Okay.
So I'm sitting in this office. Well, I used to be in venture capital, like early stage venture, investing in startups. Like all my friends are in different walks of life, different career. You're doing we have people doing all different things. I'm sitting in an office figuring out how to make coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, and like that's what I'm studying, which is crazy, but people would never think that that's what we're thinking about. But we're
Right.
trying to make sure that, I mean, when you have that many people, we had 4,800 people come to our pop-up in New York City, and we had a line out the door the entire weekend. We need to make sure that if someone's ordering coffee, it doesn't take 7 minutes.
Yeah.
We need to be able to pump that out. So,
Well, dude, you also have a team of 3 people.
team of 3.
So how does that work?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we might need to take a major leap backwards, but we're really fortunate because while we only have a team of 3 full-time staff, we have a team of 50,000 members across the country that believe in what we're doing,
Yeah.
that see themselves as part of the organization. They're building it with us, and they will go to bat for us. And we had 40 different people from the community step up and help in various different ways, whether that was bagging goodie bags of product from our brand sponsors or actually serving the coffees that we were figuring out how to make.
Okay.
So people are helping out in all different ways, shapes, or form, and it makes it feel like you have an army. And most people that come in are like, oh my God, you got the best team ever. And that's our community. Our community is our team.
I mean, that's every like business owner's dream.
Yeah, it's amazing. And we never thought of it as a business when we were starting it out. And I think that like ethos carries through is like we really just try and serve people. Like
Yeah.
we're talking about serving coffee. We haven't talked about running at all. Like my whole thought process with these events is how can we make sure that we put as many smiles on people's faces as possible.
So I saw this one clip once, and it was Elon Musk, and he was talking about like startup life he related it to eating glass. He's like a founder's life, like startup. What are your eating glass moments? And I think about this past week, and I don't know if you remember this, but I asked you this at the VIP event on Friday. I'm like, yo, like, has anything like gone wrong? And you're like, no, like nothing's gone wrong. It's all gone great. But you got it. The entire weekend, was there an eating glass moment where something just...
We had one big one, and I feel horrible about it still. We had a great 3 days. Nothing went wrong. Like, everything was perfect.
Yeah.
I couldn't have drawn it up better. We were so prepared. We were locked in. It was our 4th pop-up event that we've done in the past 365 days. So, like, we've got it down to a science. The last day of the event, it's Monday. I went out. I don't really drink. We'll talk about this maybe too. Like, I don't really party or any of this. In a former life I did, but now running is kind of my escape. And I went out on Sunday night. It's like my one night of the year where I really, really go hard. And I went out with a bunch of our friends, and I wake up at 6:30 in the morning, and I get a call from David, who's on our team. He's like, there's a line out the door waiting to get their medals engraved. Okay. So from 6:30 a.m., we opened at 7 to 2 p.m., there was a line nonstop. People in and out, like there was a line the entire day. And we had medal engraving for people.
I saw that.
Which is really cool, and people go crazy for it. Like, they will line up out the door around the block for medals to get them engraved. It's a really special thing. It's like a rite of passage. And we were at capacity, and we knew by 11:30 that the people at the end of the line were not going to get their medals engraved because of it was going to take too long. Okay. And we had people waiting there for an hour, and they were at the front of the line, and I had to break their hearts and tell them, hey, I know you just gave 2 hours of your time to be here, but like this whole event is about giving back to the community and making people smile. Like, you aren't going to get your medal engraved today, and you just waited here for 2 hours. Oh, and shit. I felt like an umpire at a baseball game with a manager coming up to argue a call, and damn right knowing that the call's not going to get overturned. Yeah. But they still wanted to be my face, being like, saying all their talking smack, and I felt terrible because all we wanted to do was give back to people, and I had to publicly basically hurt everyone's feelings.
So people like yelled at you?
Yeah, I had a bunch of people yelling at me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I got a lot of rude DMs and messages, and it's unfortunate, but I think I also got a lot of really positive messages too. Is like, I felt heartbroken that I had to break these people's hearts. And so that was an eating glass moment for sure, and I had to face my fears head on and let people know the bad news. But like, when you think about it, we made so many people happy throughout the weekend that obviously you can't make every single person happy. I feel terrible. True. If you're watching this, I feel terrible. Like, that is my eating glass moment that I had to break your heart.
Yo, also, the metal engraving thing was genius.
Yeah.
Like seriously genius. And I don't know if you probably do, but you got so much organic marketing from that. I was just scrolling on my feed on TikTok, and I don't think this was a person that you gave your bib to. I think it was a random girl. I've never seen her before. And she was just walking through her day after the marathon, and boom, it's metal engraving. I'm like, oh, that's pretty sick. Who's doing this? And then I see the shop. It's like, oh, this is the Endorphins shop. Yeah. Were you guys the only people that did that in all of New York?
There were a few. Roadrunners does it. The organization that hosts the New York City Marathon does it. Then Nike does it. Lululemon does it. A few other brands do it. We were doing metal portraits and then also get your medal engraved. Okay. And we know that that's a great thing for our community because it makes them smile. We know how much demand there is for it. True. But also from the marketing perspective, we know that people love it so much. And when they get a picture of their medal after it's engraved, they're going to post about it on social media. And they're going to thank us. And at the end of the day, like when we work with our brand partners or even when we try and think about how we can support our community, we're always trying to put ourselves in a position where people want to thank us for what we're doing.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
A little bit of personal question. Where do you get this money?
Yeah.
Like, where does the money come from to service all these people with coffee, to put on this event, to get metal engraving, to get these bibs? Like, where is this coming from?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we make money in 3 different ways. Yeah. The first way is we have brand partners. Thank you, New Balance is a common phrase amongst all of our community. New Balance supports us with gear for events. Yeah. They give us bibs to races. They give us access to opportunities. And they also financially contribute to making sure that people can leave with connection. When we went to speak to them 2 years ago about potentially partnering, we haven't even started talking about running, which I love. I love it. It has nothing to do with running. When I went in to speak to their team, I was like, listen, we look like a run club. We look like a running brand, but this has nothing to do with running at all. We are trying to facilitate connection at scale for people across the world. And we know that if a brand can come in and one of our running events is 30 minutes long, 45 minutes long, 5 miles, 9-minute pace, 45 minutes long. And a brand comes in and buys coffee for our members after the event goes from 45 minutes to 90 minutes.
True.
Which means the surface area of connection doubles. There's more opportunity for the people at the events to make friendships, and those friendships are far more powerful than the miles that were run, because those people leave and they might never come back to one of our events, but they'll say, I have this friend that I met at an Endorphins event, and now we're at a Yankees game together.
Right.
So we have a lot of brands.
Does that happen?
That happens. Oh man, that happens all the time. And that's like why I do this. Like my life's mission is to bring people together, because I know that the friendships and the connections that we're forming are unparalleled.
Yeah.
Like we have people that have never met before that come to one of our events and they become friends, and they may never come back, but they're besties for life. And those memories are shaping and impacting people for many, many, many years.
Yeah.
And I think like it's compounding more and more. The larger our community becomes, the more it compounds, and like we're supporting people in so many ways. People break down crying, telling us about the stories of their friendships and the people they've met. So it's really,
that's
really
gotta make you feel good.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, that's why I do it. As an organizer, it's a labor of love. Like we're giving back so much, but it comes back 100-fold when we hear the stories of the people that we're helping support.
Right.
Our whole thing is like the mission is to spread positivity and happiness, and we do it in 2 different ways. One is facilitating meaningful connections for our members, and then 2 is helping people achieve their goals.
Right.
That goes into our second way of making money. We have a training program that helps people achieve their goals, which is on the
Let me
app.
pull it up right here.
And
It's actually fire, by the way.
Yeah.
I love it. Seriously love it.
It's been evolution. So 3 years ago, we started Endorphins, and people we were using a third-party software called Circle. It was let's go, baby. Come on.
I gotta get my run tomorrow.
I know. Yeah. Let's go. So we were, we had a third-party community tool, and people were talking about running the New York City Marathon. And one person said, is anyone else running? Like, I would love to train with people. And I said, if we can get 50 people to train together, I'll get a coach. Not thinking of anything at this point in time. I was posting on TikTok about running, but I wasn't doing it full time, and I was still in my venture capital role. And 350 people said that they wanted to do it, and we charged $262 for a 4-month program, which is like a nod to 26.2 marathon distance.
Yeah.
And Endorphins generated about $100,000 in revenue to help support our community and pay our coaches in
a single month.
In a day.
In a day, 100K.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh my God, like there's something really here. Like we can actually turn this into something that really supports people at scale. Let's lean into it more. Then we evolved that into a video-based platform that was like more of a course, self-serve course. Yeah. And then after that, our community said there's a lot of our community was fragmented. We had a community tool, we had this coaching program, we had our brand partners. It was really hard to like facilitate the connection that we wanted virtually. So we decided to build an app, and I'm a software engineer by trade. I sent an email out around this time last year saying, who wants to code with me? So we were building a pop-up last year around this time for the New York City Marathon. After the event, I would go home and code.
Really?
Yes, in my kitchen. So we're coding an app, and now we have one of the largest training apps in the world.
Are you able to disclose how much you guys bringing in?
I'm not going to say that, but I can say that we're supporting 50,000 people across the country right now in various different ways, whether that's through meaningful connections or through supporting people through their goals. And yeah, it's been really, really cool to see that grow. And those connections are now happening on a training side. Like we're in a group text right now with 20 guys that are about that are about to train for the Austin Marathon, which is awesome. Like we're using a software to help facilitate growth, helping people achieve their goals, but also we have a group of people that are about to become family. And I'm not sure if you realize this yet or not, but like you guys are going to train virtually, and then when you get to the race, you guys are going to feel like you know each other because there's so many highs and lows that are.
I mean, dude, I saw the impact with some of the people that you gave bibs to in New York. Yeah. And like family is a very, very good word to describe it.
Yeah, and family is also a strong word, and like I'm hesitant to use it, but I really do think it is, because like one of our buddies, Jack Nossif, who ran with New Balance and Endorphins for the New York City Marathon, didn't know Ian Fons and didn't know Sage Bender and some of these guys from Austin, and now they're connected, and they're going to stay connected through not only being part of our Endorphins family, but also through social media.
Right.
And like they might go do something else that has nothing to do with running, and that speaks to what we live for.
Yeah.
It's my life's mission is to help people make friends through the sport of running, but then beyond, and like it's happening through our training now, which is really, really cool.
What influencers did you give Bibs to in the New York Marathon?
Yeah, there were a handful, and like it wasn't just us; it was really a partnership between us and New Balance.
You guys and New Balance.
Yeah, so New Balance is a Roadrunner sponsor.
Yeah,
they're the title sponsor of the New York City Marathon, and New Balance and us partnered together on many things. And like when we talk about access opportunities, but like I don't think the access for influencers is the cool thing. We gave Bibs to community members that don't have any followings.
True.
Which is the coolest thing in the world.
True.
Because like obviously the influencers are the people talking about it, and that's the things that you see online, but like we're actually giving Bibs and opportunities to people that may not have any access to opportunities otherwise.
Okay.
Just because they're part of our community, they are getting access to Bibs to the Boston Marathon, or Bibs to which is the hardest marathon in the world to get into, or the New York City Marathon, or smaller races, and that's just because they're part of our network. So we're creating value across many different spectrums of our community.
Right. But the influencer thing is, dude, I like seriously, you have mastered the game of it.
Yeah,
it's very, very impressive.
And so
I want to touch base on this for a second. I didn't know that you're giving Bibs to community members. That is pretty sick. But influencers,
I would say majority of our resources go to our community members. So like, we have resources to give to various different people. We don't have the budget to be able to pay influencers. We can give access to opportunities.
Right.
But the coolest thing by far is the amount of resources from Endorphins that goes into the community itself.
Yeah. And so I saw this past weekend, I saw Chase, I saw Jack, I saw Michael Smoke higher up on this. I met him. That was cool. The ATX boys, just like Fonz, some of those other guys. So you're courting so much attention there. Like that probably helps your community members as well, because it actually brings more people into Endorphins, allows more people to connect, and then you actually give them Bibs to go about that.
Yeah,
but
it's a very self-fulfilling prophecy. I love it because I don't think people realize this about Endorphins is like, and I've kind of hinted this already, is like when we make money, we invest it back into our community.
Yeah. When
community members are getting access to opportunities, it's because we're growing.
Right.
They're getting coffee, they're getting a pop-up experience like the one we just put on because Endorphins is growing, and influencers help us grow. And while 100%. There's very limited resources going to creators, like those creators help us grow, which then we can then take those proceeds and invest it back into the community to make our community really strong, which helps people make friends. So it's a really, really powerful thing.
It is a good business model, and like it's not even business model because I don't think you're doing it purely for the business side. But I just a question. So when I had Jack on this podcast too, and I asked him the story of like when he met higher up on this, Michael Smoke, and he's like, yo, I was at this run club and I met him, and it was such a fangirl moment. Like I go up to this guy, I'm like, yo, I see your stuff, I'm such a big fan, and it was pretty cool. But like now you've had some pretty cool people that you've had endorsing your brand and your product and promoting it. Did you have a fangirl moment with any influencer? You're like, holy shit, like this person's repping Endorphins.
No, I don't think so.
Not a single one.
I see myself as an equal to many of these folks because I'm a creator too. Like Endorphins started with me posting on TikTok. And it was me running around like a crazy person in New York City training for a 50-mile race, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I wasn't really that like strong of a runner. I'd run maybe 5 or 6 marathons at that point, but like I wasn't like a beast runner, and I was a creator. And because of that, like I think once you've taken that leap of faith into like climbing Cringe Mountain and like putting yourself out there, like I don't see follower count. I just see people that are awesome. And if you're awesome, you don't need to be an influencer. You could be an amazing community member. So I think I would.
There's not one person
I think I would
like
really, really fangirl over like a Tom Brady if he was running with us, or I'm from Boston.
I mean, that'd be sick.
I've been watching a lot of Law and Order SVU. So if Mariska Hargitay ran with us,
I don't know what that is.
She's an actress, like a very, very seasoned actress. Like I would be pumped, but. I'm not really fangirling over those. What I really do like get pumped about is finding people that their story is remarkable, and it's undeniable that if we can get them from where they are today to crossing a finish line, it's miraculous. And like those are the moments that I get really pumped about. So for example, this is a terrible example, but I'll give you like it's top of mind. Chase Ridgway, who's a creator, his mom said she's so pumped to see her son run the marathon. I said, you're up next. And I'm trying to convince her to run the Austin Half Marathon.
Wow.
Right? And like again, that is like a terrible example. We've had so many people that have incredible health journeys and crazy stories of comebacks and handling adversity, and like being able to support them getting to even to a start line is crazy. Yeah. And then seeing them achieve their goals is like the most powerful thing. So I fangirl over those stories for sure.
Yo, what's the deal with you? Because you had a surgery.
I've had a bunch of surgeries. So I think like another crazy storyline of Endorphins is I've been doing this for 3 years. Yeah. I haven't been able to run.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. So I learned a lot early that when I was investing myself, it was more of Tyler as an influencer. Yeah. And then I ran a 50-mile race, and I made some of the best friends. Like, they're still my best friends in the world. And again, like, I learned training virtually with a bunch of other creators from across the world. Like, I could make deep core like relationships with. And I was like, how can I model that for everyone else? But after I ran a 50-mile race, I broke my back. I wasn't able to run for about a year.
During the race, you broke your back?
After the race, I didn't run again. Yeah. I blew a disc out in my back and then ran 20 marathons. And after that 50-mile race, I was like, I'm done. And I had to shut it down. I ended up having surgery. Couldn't walk. I lost feeling all down my leg, which is crazy. But that was like in May of 2023. Endorphins was like 6 months old at that time. I really haven't run since.
So you ran the 50-mile race, and then after you're like, something's wrong, but you kept running marathons, and that's when you lost feeling.
It was like October 2022. I was in a yoga class, and I wasn't a creator at this point. I was thinking, like, I was like a very small, like maybe 1,000 follower creator. And I was posting because I loved it, and I was still working in venture capital, and I was training for the Berlin Marathon. And one day I was in yoga. I was like as a form of cross training, and I just pulled out my back. And from October 22 to May 23, I ran 20 marathons in that time frame.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I was running one every single weekend, training for a 50-mile race. And that's when like my TikTok presence started to grow a ton, and I was posting crazy videos that got a lot of early traction, and like now everyone's a running influencer, but I think I was pretty early post-pandemic.
You were running a marathon every single week?
Yeah, I was running.
How is that possible?
I mean, I was just going out and running 26 miles. Like, I wasn't running like traditional marathons. I was like running, it's funny, there's a deli downstairs, and maybe in like March 23, we did a run. It was called the Endorphins 30. And we had a bunch of people meet up in Washington Square Park, which is where we do a lot of our group runs. Yeah. And we ran 30 miles together around the perimeter of Manhattan. And we were like in the perimeter on the east side, and we were like, we need water for this group. Like, we had no idea what we were doing. Now we like have it down to a science. But we ended up stopping down in this deli, and I remember swiping my card and getting like $200 worth of water, and everyone was just drinking water in the streets right outside this deli.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. So we were doing them all the time, and we were bringing people along with us, and we were posting about it on social media, and it was just like growing and growing and growing.
Dude, I've ran so my first long distance race ever was junior year of college. I was super into weightlifting, but then I messed up my shoulder playing flag football. And this was right at the time where I started posting on social media. And I'm like, I'm going to make a brand about how to like cut weight really good, because I thought I knew how to do it. And I busted my shoulder, and I'm like, I'm screwed. So my first ever post on social media was, I'm running a half marathon in 16 days with no prior running experience. And I just ripped it. It was hell. Like, it was torture. And I thought, there's no way I can ever actually run long distance in my life. Like, I would go for a 3-mile run, and my shins were torn apart. My feet hurt so bad. I was the most miserable ever. I literally could not walk. And for you to say that you ran a marathon every single week blows my mind. Like, that's seriously no joke. But like, what actually goes into that?
Yeah, I mean, what was going into it was actually after the runs. Like, I was eating extremely clean, extremely healthy. I was actually vegan at one point during that stretch, which was really an interesting like stage. I was doing a lot of cross training. I was like really eating clean, and I was doing a lot of recovery. I was doing sauna, cold plunge every day. I was like just like treating my body like a elite athlete.
That stuff actually works, like the sauna and cold plunge.
Yeah, I mean, I think it helps. I mean, find the things that work for you, and it was working for me, and it was just part of my routine. Like, I was doing it every day, and I loved it, and it made me feel good. So yeah, maybe it helped a lot.
Walk me through a 50-mile race.
Yeah, we did it a little different. So the coolest part about this, and I kind of talked about it earlier, is like, I was on TikTok, and like I found other people on TikTok to run with me. Yeah. And I'd never really met them before. And like throughout our training, I would travel to them, or they would travel to me. We had people in Florida, we had people in London, we had people in Philly, we had people in New York, we had people everywhere. And I ended up making 6 of my like closest homies that I still could call anytime right now, because we went through some shit together, which is cool. And we didn't go out for pace. We just went so that way we could be together the whole time. Yeah. and it took us 12 hours and like 6 seconds. It was awesome.
For 50 miles?
Yeah.
What is that pace-wise?
It was like, I don't recall, but we did a lot of walking. We did, like, if anyone needed to walk, we walked. If anyone wanted to speed up, we would speed up.
That's fine.
Like, we were eating our way through it. It was like 4,000 or 5,000 feet of elevation, which is like 8 times the New York City Marathon elevation. And we just vibed. We had the best time ever. All the TikTok, like the entire thing is documented.
Okay.
And you could see it from multiple different angles. And I think what was really special about like the content side of it was you could see someone in Florida training, and then you could see like me training for the same thing, and you could follow our journeys together.
Yeah.
And we became super tight because of that. The internet was really riding for us, which is really cool.
Really?
Yeah. We did TikTok dances like every 5 or 10 miles. It's all on. Yeah. We were doing dumb stuff. We made up our own TikTok dance, and then like for a couple months after, like runners were doing the TikTok. It was hilarious.
Oh, that's fire. So you're starting trends.
We started a trend on this marathon, which is funny. If anyone remembers that dance, it's funny. Yeah.
Dude, what do you even bring along with? So even in the New York Marathon, when like the runners are doing this stuff, what are they supposed to be bringing with them to fuel them for the entire race?
Yeah, I mean, how scientific do we want to get? And I need to just say, I'm not a coach and I'm not a dietitian, but I can tell you what I've been taught.
No, yeah, tell me what you've been taught.
I got all the disclaimers
Super
ready.
Curious.
They say you want the minimum you want 20 grams of carbs per hour.
Okay.
That's like the bare minimum. Like the elite athletes can take down 100 grams of carbs an hour. So you want to be taking the standard gel is like in between 20 and 30 grams of carbs. So like if you're out there for 3 hours, you want to be taking at least 9 gels, which would be 60 grams of carbs every single hour.
Okay.
Like that's the bare minimum. Yeah, so like that comes in a lot of different forms. When you are in early stages of a race or a marathon, like you can typically get away with just like hammering gels. But for longer distance races, like you typically need solids. So like you're eating sushi rice, you're eating Rice Krispie treats, you're eating anything that has carbs in it that you can swallow, basically, that like you can take down. Because like after 3 hours of eating gels, you want to blow your brains out.
Oh, I bet. Have you ever ran a race and you've had to go to the bathroom during it? That's always something I've like wondered how that works. Especially the New York Marathon. How does that work in the New York Marathon?
Well, let's talk about the Tokyo Marathon.
Let's talk about that.
Well, this will be a good clip. We can clip this for sure. Because I have all the overlays for you, but Tokyo Marathon, you're in Tokyo, you're in Japan. Like, there's a huge time difference, so you need to either get there really early, like a week before, to get acclimated. They say it's like an hour a day that you can get acclimated. It's like 14-hour time difference. So really, if you want it to be perfect, you get there 14 days early. Or you get there like the day of, and like the jet lag is just like confused, and you just rip it that
Dude,
day.
you'd be cooked.
Right, but okay, so those are your options. If you get there like 6-7 days before, I just 6-7'd you.
What does that even mean?
We're not going there.
Is that, you know what that, is that?
Well, you know what 6-7 is?
I think it's actually meaningless.
I think so too.
I think it's just like a trend of like.
I just see people going like this.
It's like it means nothing, but it's like you don't want to be in the out group. You don't want to not be a part of the.
Which means everyone's in it, which means it's nothing.
All right, well, I'm part of it. All right, 6-7.
So I got there 6 or 7 days before the race, and obviously if I'm in Japan with my dad, I'm going to eat sushi every single meal.
Yeah, of course.
So by the time it got to race day, my stomach is in shambles because I've just been eating raw fish every single day. Yeah. So mile 3, I actually did something crazy at this race. I snuck up to the very front of the start line, and it's a shotgun start, meaning there's no waves, no corrals, like everyone starts.
Oh, shit.
And I somehow weaseled my way up to the front, and I started with the fastest people at the race, like the elite runners. And the reason why that's an issue is because I went out and I was running at my pace. Let's say I was running 7-minute miles or 6-minute miles. These elites are running at 5-minute miles. So for the first 10 miles of the race, I'm just getting passed.
Yeah.
I'm just getting passed. I'm like, my body's like, I need to run faster to keep up with these people. So I started really leaning in. I ended up taking 4 bathroom breaks on this course. Like going to the bathroom, it was terrible, but what's crazy is all the signs are in a different language, so you have no idea where the bathrooms are. So I forget the exact mile marker, maybe halfway through the race, I'm like, I can't believe I had to go to the bathroom again. This is terrible. My stomach's in shambles. And there's a sign that says, like, the bathroom is X kilometers away. And I thought it meant, like, it's on the course in a kilometer or two. It actually meant that it was a kilometer off the course. Which is about a mile, a little, like 2/3 of a mile. And I actually had to go into a train station, and I got locked in a train station bathroom while taking a shit. and I have it all documented.
What do you mean you got locked to the train
Like I
station?
couldn't get in, I couldn't get out, I was stuck. I have my bib on, the race is happening. I'm like, my race is toast. Like I'm gonna get disqualified because I'm literally in this train station bathroom. But it was like a registered bathroom on the course. The moral of the story is people have to go to the bathroom during races. It's unfortunate, and it definitely can take some time off. But one thing that's really important is during your training, you prepare by taking different gels and making sure your body's good with them.
Okay.
Like really making sure that you're like nailing your fueling strategy the day before, what you're eating the day of the race, before the race, and then what you're consuming on race day.
But like on the actual New York Marathon, is it just porta potties that they
have
list
porta
out there?
potties, Yeah.
Oh, so if you have to shit, you just go in a porta potty.
Yeah, or like, some people like in really like dire situations will go off the course.
They'll just pop a squat and
They'll like try and find a bathroom at like a 7-Eleven or something,
Oh,
or
wow.
like a bodega,
Okay.
which is like I don't think valid. Like I think you probably get disqualified if you're like one of the elite runners that goes off the course. But like obviously there's like 0.001% of people that care about their time that much, or like care about, and then there's everyone else, and some people do that.
So I have a friend who runs track in college.
Yeah.
And so he trained with me for the half marathon that I ran back in April.
Sure.
And so he's running. He's like, yo, when you're training and doing this stuff, you need to breathe through your nose. Like, don't breathe through your mouth. It's gonna be way better. But I'm doing this stuff, and it's like I can't get in any air. Like this is actually torture.
Yeah.
But you having a lot of experience in running, is that a real thing?
Yeah, I think, again, I'm not like a qualified coach, but I've helped support tens of thousands of athletes. I think it really comes down to personal preference. I think like for your easier runs, you can probably get away with that through your nose, and obviously you want as much intake as possible through your nose. You even see a lot of runners wearing the nose strips now because it helps with their intake through the nose. We've actually done some stuff with a brand called Breathe Right, and it's been incredible. They support a lot of athletes, and from a marketing, you talk about good marketing. A lot of people film themselves running. The nose strips are literally on your like the front of your face. You can't miss it. So they've had like a huge upswing. But when you're running at faster paces and you're really breathing heavy, like you can't just breathe through your nose. It's not possible.
Okay, so it's just kind of a myth a little bit.
I don't know if it's a myth. I think it just comes down to how fast you're running.
Okay.
Like, you want the intake to go through your nose. But it's okay if it goes through your mouth.
Are there any big like do not do this the day of a race?
Don't try anything new.
Okay.
You really don't want to try something new. I think like like if you've been training with one gel the entire time, and then race day you tried gel B, and you've never had it before, like that could be it might not be good, right? Okay. Different shoes, like if you've been training with one pair of shoes the entire time, and then you put on a completely brand new pair of shoes that you've never worn before, your feet could get completely wrecked.
Okay.
Yeah, so like don't try anything new would be my recommendation on race day.
Okay. Damn. What happens? Never mind. Okay, fire. Well, dude, I'm fired up for this Austin Marathon.
Yeah.
And we got a good squad that's rolling out. But you mentioned there's a couple of other marathons. So the biggest ones, it's Tokyo, it's London, it's Boston, it's New York. What other ones do you guys send people to?
We send people everywhere, and like when we say we send, like we have 50,000 people in our community now, which is insane. People are doing races all over the place.
Yeah.
And we're supporting them through their training, and then we host shakeout runs, which is like the coolest event that we could ever do.
Yeah, I really gotta come to some of those in New York.
Yeah,
that'll be a lot of fun.
The runs that we host in the local cities, we host 2,000 free events a year now across 12 different cities. But what's really cool is like we host international shakeout runs at cities that are like satellite cities, like Berlin or Tokyo or Sydney, where we will take members from all of our local cities and virtual members that are just training with us, and they'll all meet up in a place, and there's no like local group, and everyone will run together there, and you'll make friends. We've talked about these connections. You might run with us in New York, and then someone else might run with us in Chicago. You go to Berlin, you will make friends, and now we actually have stories of people dating, one person from New York, one person from Boston, meeting at the Chicago Marathon.
Oh, wow.
And now they're dating and living together. So like those are really
that's gotta make you feel pretty good.
Yeah, it's cool. We don't like endorse dating at our events. Like there's other clubs for that. Like we really are endorsing friendships and connections and like meaningful connections. I think like dating is tough. Like endorsing, like meeting a significant other at one of our events or at a like fitness event is tough because it makes people feel uncomfortable sometimes. Like we have people that when we host runs on Saturday mornings here in New York, they're 10 miles long. Like people are there to get after it. They're not there to like find their significant other. Now, if that happens, when you put 20 people in a room together at an office or wherever you may be, like that is bound to happen. But like we're not like saying come here and find love.
Dude, that got me thinking. So my friend just told me the other day, we always have these debates because, like, we're both brand new to corporate, right? So we just graduated. We're going into corporate now. And we're like, is it wrong to date a girl at your office? Like, what if you find someone attractive? Like, what do you do? And my friend's like, do not do that. Like, it's the worst thing in the entire world. And I kind of agree. Like, I don't think you ever want to date your coworker. But he was telling me the story the other day where it's like a managing MD at his spot. And he was like flirting with this younger girl. There's probably a decent age gap in there. And they'd always flirt and do this. But she had maybe it was a fiance or like a boyfriend at the time. And then push comes to shove, boom, they break up, they split. And now it's known that these people date in their office. But I'm also at the same time like, how is that possible? Like, you can't be upper echelon in a company and date down. Like, that just breaks all the rules. Like, there has to be some like compliance around that. Random thought about it dating.
Yeah,
but
I think that dating in the workplace is a sticky thing, especially at a smaller company, because like everyone can feel the impact of that. But like, I don't know, I can take it in a little bit of a different direction. It's really hard to meet people.
It is.
It's really hard for people to make in-person connections. That's why it's what I'm talking about here. Like, that's why I'm focused on it. That's why it's my life's mission, is to help people make friends and meet people in person. Like, it's hard, and like, it's hard to make friends, and it's hard to meet significant others, especially today when people are drinking less. Like, there's less places for people to meet each other. So I think it's common for, like, if you can find someone anywhere in person, why not? I think the age gap is a little sus.
A little bit, yeah.
Especially
it's extremely
with the
sus.
power dynamic there. There's definitely some compliance things that.
Do you have a girl?
No, I'm single.
You are?
Yeah, I've been single for 5 years.
Are you?
I'm looking
shopping?
for like a real relationship for sure. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a crazy full circle moment if you found your wife from an endorphins thing, or is that just like a no
I'm
for
never
you?
gonna date within our community. No different than the compliance thing that we're discussing. Like, I want people to feel safe at our events, and like, if someone's an active person within endorphins, like, they're just off limits, because I don't think that's the right thing to do. Like, I want to make sure that like our members trust us, and I think like we've done a great job of creating this environment where people trust the brand of endorphins. They know that they're going to get something that's high quality.
Yeah.
The second that I start screwing around with that trust factor is the second that we die, or we break down. So I would never do that. But like, one thing that's really cool is like, I'm in rooms with people that like to run that might not actually be involved with what we're doing, and like, I made a lot of connections that way.
Okay, on the topic of you, we talked briefly on a FaceTime the first time we met, and we shared a little story pitch, but you mentioned that a couple years back you were still in corporate America.
Yeah.
But it wasn't going the way you wanted it to go, and then you transform and you follow your heart into this.
Sure.
Can you just walk me through those days in corporate and how this transitioned into endorphins?
Yeah, I mean, I say this a lot, and it's like one of the coolest things, and like, I don't know, I feel like it's really cliche to say like, follow your heart, do what you love, but I think it's the most like profound thing that you could actually do if you're able to listen to yourself and be emotionally secure enough to understand what you do like to do,
right.
And then also take that leap of faith. So I was working in corporate America, and I was working for some really successful guys, learning a ton. I'm learning the most things in the world, but my heart was in running.
Okay.
My heart was like, I can't wait for my next 13-mile run. I can't wait for my 50-mile race. Like, I have everything I'm doing while in my office is like Googling fueling strategies, like thinking about how I can make awesome content about running. Like, all I wanted to do was talk about running. I remember I referenced the Berlin Marathon in 2022. I remember texting my boss, like, I want to make running my life. I said that on my birthday, like when I turned 25 or 26 or whatever, like, I want to make running my life, but I don't know how. Fast forward to, I'm at this inflection point where like endorphins is starting to, like, as a thing. It's a small run club. Run clubs are not a business. I'm starting to post on TikTok, and I found all my energy going into something that was not where my heart was.
Yeah.
All my energy was going to my job, but my heart wasn't running. And the second that I was able to take the leap of faith of aligning my energy with my heart is the second that I felt fulfilled in what I do. And like, I don't feel like I'm working ever. And I even say this, like, when you align your energy with your heart is when you actually feel endorphins. And that can be through actually running, but it also can be through purpose. And I stand by that every single day. And I tell everyone that I know is like, listen to what makes you happy. Like, I'm talking to someone that we both know. I'm not going to disclose names because I don't want to like blast them out into the world, but like, they're unhappy at their job and they have another opportunity that they could do that would maybe pay them less, but make them way wealthier with happiness. And that's why our mission is to spread positivity and happiness, because if you live a happy and healthy life, it doesn't, like, money doesn't mean anything. because you're happy.
How old were you when you made that decision?
I think I was 27, 28.
And did you quit by yourself?
I got nudged by my boss, who basically said, like, the best things in life come when you align your energy with your heart.
And you're working at a venture capital firm when this is going.
Yeah. And this guy started Lids, the hat company. Like, he's like been a mentor of mine for many years.
Wow.
I'm really close with his family. And he basically said, like, hey, you should go do this.
He started Lids.
Yeah. Very successful consumer brand.
Okay, so but you haven't started Endorphins at this
Endorphins
point.
had started, but like it wasn't. And Endorphins, I don't see it as a business. Like, run clubs are not a business.
Yeah.
But we had started the run club. We were hosting events. We were like trying to figure it out. I spent a year making like social media content as to pay my rent. And that's when like Endorphins started to grow, and like my personal brand started to grow, and then brands saw Endorphins as an opportunity to spread their brand to people, and that's when New Balance got involved.
So you get nudged out day after. What's going through your head? Are you sitting there strategizing? Are you talking to your parents like, holy cow, what do I do? Like, what's going on?
I mean, they really treated me well, and I had a lot of guidance and support. Like, after I was kind of nudged out, and it wasn't like it was a very amicable, like, hey, go do this and we'll support you. So that was really nice. But like, I really do think when you do find your purpose or you align your energy with your heart, like, good things will happen to you. So I got my first brand deal with Brooks, and I said to them, I'm only doing this if you support our community. No different than how we work with New Balance today. And I started to get like brand deals as Tyler, and I made sure that all 3,000 of our members could participate in some way, shape, or form, via gear, via discounts, via something that was cool that would make them trust what we're doing and also feel like they're part of it.
Right.
And Brooke supported us. We did a run in Manhattan where we called it the Sunrise Run, where I sent an email out to people. We had like 200 people meet up at like 4:30 in the morning, and we ran over the Brooklyn Bridge at sunrise.
Wow.
And then everyone got free coffee, and everyone got free Brooks gear, and everyone was pumped. And then we made content about it, and it was a super viral video, and it was really giving back. Like, it wasn't about me at all. It was really about the other people in our community. So things started to happen for me the second I could invest more time into it.
Why? Okay. Why do you think other run clubs fail or they don't turn into businesses?
Well, I don't think run clubs are businesses, period. And I don't think run clubs, it's really hard for a run club to fail. So those are two different things. Let's start with the run club failure thing. If you are creating a space for connection in this world, you are never going to fail. Even if nobody shows up, you're not going to fail. That doesn't even have to be a run club. Like, again, I'm going to hammer this home. Like, my life's mission is to bring people together. Yep. If you're creating the space for people to come together, you are doing a huge service for this world, because it's hard for people to make friends. It's hard for people to meet people outside of bars. So if you have a run club and you are bringing people together, you are succeeding. Doesn't matter if you have one person, doesn't matter if you have 1,000 people. You're succeeding because you're creating space for people to come together around shared interests. So that's a W. Run clubs are not businesses. This is a really tough thing because many people get into run clubs more recently. Like, I think we really helped invigorate the run club wave. People get into it for the wrong reasons. They're like, I can't wait to start this run club so I can work with these brands. I can't wait to. The issue is there's a really big misalignment between brands and run clubs. Run clubs, if you have 100 people that show up to run, that's crazy. That's a lot of people.
It is.
If you get 100 people in a place, that's a lot of people. But a brand isn't going to spend more than a couple $100 on that activation. Maybe a couple grand. Maybe, if it's like a really, really high quality event. The reason is, like, at the end of the day, you could run a Facebook ad, you could pay an influencer, you could get social media content out there, you could spread the word for a lot cheaper to a lot more people. Now, there's something really valuable about being able to get your product in the hands of people, but there's so many of these run clubs now that, like, a brand will just hand the product out, and most run clubs will take it for free, or like, it's really hard to generate revenue. Like, it's just not a business. It's not a scalable business.
Mm-hmm.
So I would never like consider run club a business.
Okay. So again, like, then how did you turn it into a business?
Yeah, like, I see our community as two different things. We have the Endorphins community, and we host running events, and we have a run club, and then we also have training resources, which is how we make money.
The training, the app.
And also, we're doing it at scale. So, like, the average run club, if you host a run club in a city, and you're hosting a run every single day of the week, that's 365 runs. That's a ton of events. We're hosting 2,000 a year. We're doing 7x that.
Damn.
when you think about it that way, most run clubs are hosting 1 to 2 events a week. Like if you're hosting 100 events a year as a run club, like that is like high volume events.
Yeah.
We're hosting 20x that. So like we're hosting a ton of events, and then also we're pumping media out, which is like what the brands want to see. So like, and we've grown like a small following on social media through Endorphins, like
a pretty decent following.
Yeah,
You guys are like 47?
Yeah, we have like something like that, like several tens of thousands of followers, which is really awesome. But like even if now only 30 people show up to the run, I shouldn't say only, that's a lot of people. Like getting 30 people into a space, like if you posted on your story, or if any influencer posted on the story, come meet me at this place at this time, could you get 30 people there? It's hard.
Be very tough.
It's tough to do.
Very tough.
So getting 30 people in a place at any, like even for a birthday party, it's tough. Come celebrate my birthday. It would be I would struggle to get 30 people there, which is crazy.
maybe
really tell
maybe we're
people,
just losers.
right?
I
But
could
like
get
if
30
you can
people
then
there.
make media about it, and as a creator, I understood how to do this and get 50,000 views on an event with 30 people. That's when it starts to change.
Okay, so break that down. How did you go about getting 50,000 views?
I was on TikTok posting about the run. So like Brooks came to me as an influencer to host an event, and I made media about it, but I then gave back to the run club. So it was, the run club was never a business. It was really, I was doing these things and just trying to support the community. And like I said to these brands, you're not doing anything with me unless the run club supported.
Okay.
And then we obviously then did the training, which was a real business, like from the jump of people being able to make money through coaching. We had coaches that were making money and they were helping support our athletes, and it was small, but it's been growing. And now that we have a scalable solution through the app, it's like turned into a real training resource, which is an app. And I don't see it as a run club. Like I see it as a larger community that has a run club and has an app.
Did you as a kid struggle with human connection?
I was an only child. So like finding connection was through team sports. And like we've talked about team, you're on a team now training with people for the Austin Marathon, which is awesome. Like we now have a team of 50,000 people that will step up and serve coffee or like pack goodie bags, right? Like I took the same principles around being on a high school football team and how I made all my friends in the locker room or the long bus rides, and we've applied that to how we operate our community.
But so how did being an only child affect you so much? Because when someone is so purpose and mission driven and oriented in one thing, I'll give you an example. One of the reasons I do this podcast and one of the reasons I make my personal brand is because I want people to understand why they believe what they believe. And I hate the concept of being a sheep and blindly following everything and never questioning everything. Like I question my faith. I'm Catholic. I'm going to have a priest on this podcast in a couple of weeks, and we're going to debate. Like probably the most extreme level you can get. And even though I'm on his side, I'm going to come in and I'm going to debate and I'm going to question certain things. I made that my mission, and I repeatedly say this all the time because in the past, I was the kid who had no idea why he believed what he believed. He followed everything blindly, and I resented myself back then, and I do to this day. You're so mission-oriented and driven for human connection. As a kid, or being in that having no siblings, what did that do to you? That shaped you into the person you are today?
I found connection through sports. Like I played on 3 basketball teams in the winter, like growing up in middle school. I played football, basketball, baseball. I was always around other people, just in a locker room environment, not in a home environment. And I've tried to emulate that same environment in what we do. We got buses to the New York City Marathon start line, which is the biggest privilege in the world. Like, it's getting to the start line is a shit show. It's an absolute shit show. It's terrible. We had private buses, and I said to the people on these buses, like, think back to playing high school sports. Like, right before they're about to run the New York City Marathon, I have a megaphone. I'm giving a speech to 50 people. They're about to have the biggest milestone of their running careers or their, post-college lives. It's like a huge milestone outside of work to run this race. And I say to them, think about playing on a high school sports team and being on a bus with all of your best friends going to an away game to play your rival. Like, that's what we're doing right now. And like those are the moments that I cherish the most, the locker room shenanigans, and I emulate that in what I do every day, and I know how important that is.
How much has journaling played in your life?
Journaling?
Yeah.
I've done a ton of journaling. I've been off my game recently, and I could do a lot better. But journaling, when I was starting Endorphins, like I have every single day documented, like in written form, and it's so important to reflect on what you're doing, and I think I've just gotten good at it, not writing it down, just like being more like introspective and like understanding who I am. And like I said, like I had a moment of pause on a bike ride and I reflected, right?
Yeah.
I do a ton of reflection, is
Right.
really important.
How do you go about that process?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. I mean, I meditate through my actions and through my routine. Like making my morning coffee, I would say, is a meditative practice, which allows me to have pause and reflect. I do
Okay.
it every single morning. Actually, this morning I didn't, and I'm bummed about it because I was out of coffee beans, and like I'm way distraught out of my routine after the New York City Marathon. But like, it's normally me making coffee, it's me meditating in the morning, it's me taking deep breaths, it's me doing my skincare routine, it's me drinking water.
You do have good skin.
Thank you,
You
bro.
got good
I've
skin.
been working
I
on
need
it. I
some
have a
help here.
5-step
I got
routine. I
all
got
this.
you after this. I'll show you the routine, but it's meditative practices, and that allows me to take moments of pause and miss all the chaos.
Yeah, dude, that's something I I really struggle with, staying present sometimes. I don't know if you ever get anxious, but I get a lot of anxiety, and a lot of that comes from being so future oriented. And you work yourself up so much about what could go wrong in the future, or what could go right, or how do I get to this spot. But it like totally wrecks everything in the present. And I can see it outletted in like certain relationships.
Yeah.
Even with my roommates. Like I'll get home, and I mean, obviously, like you're sitting at a desk for 10 hours and you're like, holy shit, like I got so much stuff I got to do tonight, because you're doing businesses on the side. And it's like, it's kind of fucked up. Like sometimes you won't even give them the time of day, or they're talking and you're like, I'm not even listening. But I had Arlen Moore. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Big on YouTube, big entrepreneur, knows Iman Ghazi, all these different types of people. He was sitting right here, and one of the things that changed his life was this person called Eckhart Tolle. I don't know if you've ever heard about him, but very focused around like surrendering, and very spiritual, and being in the present, and how much, and I was able to see how much that changed that kid's life.
Yeah.
Like he's a completely different person than he used to be. But it's something that I struggle with a lot. And it's not easy to like find those moments of peace through like journaling and staying present.
Yeah, well, journaling is just one of the ways that you can find peace. But I think just taking a step back, and one of my favorite things that I do, and I say this to anyone that knows me well, and what I do with Endorphins is like before any event, I know my purpose. I take a step back, and I like to kind of play free safety, and I kind of like to survey what's going on, and I take a deep breath, and I'm like, look at all these people talking to each other and making friends, and like that's a moment of peace, and that's a moment of reflection, and that's not journaling, but it's me taking a mental note and meditating, and in the moment of chaos when I have
Interesting.
thousands of people. Like I think I just posted on my Instagram a picture of me in this moment, which is really cool. I'm standing on a ladder and I'm just looking at thousands
I
of
saw that.
people,
It was very cool.
and it's so cool. And I'm not saying anything. I'm just literally staring, and I'm looking, and like that's a meditative practice, and that's like
Yeah.
a moment of reflection amidst chaos. This is actually going to be crazy, but when I was between jobs after I left my venture role, and I was like thinking about what I was going to do, I actually went to Times Square and meditated.
In the middle of Times Square.
In the middle of Times Square.
You sat down.
I sat down in the middle of Times Square, and I just meditated. And at that time, I was like, if I can find peace in the most crazy place in the world, like I can find peace anywhere.
And did you?
Yeah, I think it was really tough. There was construction, and there's a lot of people, and it was a little crazy. And even when I think back, I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? But I think being able to find peace in chaos is a really important thing. And that also relates to running. Like, you're going to run a marathon, and you're going to be at mile 22, and you're going to be like, what the heck is happening to me? And you could freak out, or you can take a moment of pause and reflect and say, I'm going to proceed through this, and I'm going to figure it out. And there's no difference between you in between jobs and the craziness that might be going on in your life versus running a marathon. So it's a nice metaphor.
Do you ever feel like imposter syndrome or something when you have those events and you get up on the ladder?
I don't feel any imposter syndrome in what I do. I think I was born to do what I do. I think when I feel imposter syndrome is I'll be vulnerable. Like, I think I was living in a life of being like high society, being in like a finance role that was like pretty cool, and like I left that role with society telling me that isn't the right choice. And I think that paradigm was a really interesting like shift for me, because I was going on one path, and I completely pivoted later in my like mid-career, like in my late 20s, when I had something really good going for me, and I could have stayed doing that. And I made a pivot to leading runs and posting on the internet. Right. So I had people turn an eye and be like, what the hell is this guy doing?
Yeah.
So I think that's when I felt a lot of imposter syndrome. Is that like, did I make the right choice?
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me, do you listen to Alex Hormozy?
I don't, but I know who he is.
Okay, so he was working one of the big three consulting firms. And I vividly remember this. I was walking back from the gym, morning workout in college. And I was listening to the podcast with Alex Hermosi and Stephen Bartlett on Diary of a CEO. And he was saying that at the time he went to Vanderbilt, he got this great consulting job, he's making 6 figures. But then there was one morning where he woke up and he was in his apartment and he went out on the balcony and he was looking out and saying, part of me just wants to jump off right now and take my life. But at the same point, this guy has everything in the world right now. Everything. And he's like, I can't talk to my parents because they put up a fit. Society doesn't want me to do this. Society tells me to be at this job, to go to Harvard Business School, and then work your way up, and then boom, you're going to be a millionaire doing whatever it is. But then Alex Hormozi, he quit. He drove across the country, probably, I think, to California, and he slept in a gym. And he started this gym business. It was defied all odds, but I mean, you can see where the guy is today.
Yeah.
And when you bring that up, it kind of clicks a little bit with your story.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's aligning your energy with your heart. Like, sometimes society tells you to do something, but it's going to grind your gears and you're not going to be happy. And you can't find success without happiness. Like, I think they're actually really coupled together. And if you're doing something that makes you unhappy, you're not going to be good at it.
Yeah.
You're not going to love it. And you're going to wake up. If you're in a position right now where you are lying in bed when you wake up in the morning and you say, oh, I have to go to work today, your energy and heart are not aligned. And I would say 99.99999% of people are living in that right now. And if you can find a role that, even if it's paying you less, that when you wake up in the morning and your eyelids open and the sunlight hits your face and you say, fuck yeah, I get to go do this today, you won't work a day in your life and you'll find greater success. Because for me, I just did this crazy thing of hosting a 4-day wedding, 4,800 people, right? And I'm pumped about doing it again in 2 weeks, even though I know it's going to take the piss out of me. I said my one word was tired, but I love it, and I'm here with a smile on my face. So I think like that is the truth, is if you can align your energy with your heart, good things will happen.
It's not as easy as you say, though, bro. Like,
no, it's
got to be.
Yeah, it's not, but
tough.
like I think a lot of people have passions, and many don't, which is another thing that we can discuss. But like, many people just work to live instead of living to work.
Yeah.
I didn't say that right. I'm not even gonna go there, but people are working all day long and they're not happy, right?
Yeah.
But if you have a hobby, you should lean into that more and more, because it could turn into what you do full time. And that was me with running. I was like, hey, I want this to be my life. How do I make it happen?
I have a lot of kids that message me because something I did in college was I went down the traditional route. So I was at a good school, WashU in St. Louis. They push everybody consulting and investment banking. And I fell down that rabbit hole because everything you dream of when you're at that school is, man, I cannot wait to have the LinkedIn post. The LinkedIn post saying, I'm going Big 3 consulting, or I got a job at an investment bank. It's boom. It's a social status symbol. Yeah. But I got to a point where I was doing finance and I was trying to recruit for consulting. I was like, I hate this, bro. Like, this is not me. My heart's in marketing, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. And a lot of people ask me that question because they know that I do that. And they're like, how do you go about making the switch and following your heart, even though there is a ton of pushback?
The first thing is waking up in the morning and feeling like, shit, I got to do this, and acknowledging that that's how you feel. Yeah. Every single time I've had a bunch of different jobs and businesses and ideas and things I've done in my career, and every single time before I've left, it wasn't like, I'm happy, I'm going to leave. I felt myself calling my friends and family, being like, I hate this shit. I don't like this. Like, something, and like, it took time, but like, no different than journaling or meditating or taking a moment of pause or reflecting. Like, once you realize you're unhappy, you need to be able to fix it. Yeah. Same thing with marathon, mile 22. Something might not be right. You can identify something amiss, your anxiety or however you're feeling, your pain. You can then adjust and make it feel better. And there's no different with your job. It's like, the first thing is identifying that you're unhappy. And I'm sure every person listening here that knows that they're unhappy, you can take a moment and be like, oh, you're right, I don't like what I do.
Yeah.
And then you can say, wow, but after I'm done with work from my 9 to 5, from 5 to 9 p.m., I play basketball. Go find a job being a basketball coach. Go find a job as a sideline reporter. Go do something near the sport, right? Or go do something that you like, spend whatever you're doing after your job, you should try and do more and more of, so that way eventually you can make it your life. Because
are you a firm believer that even if you do something that you love, you can still become rich doing it?
I think rich is a tough thing. What is rich? What is wealth?
I'm not talking about rich and happiness because
You're talking about money.
I'm talking about money.
Yeah, I think in most lines of work, if it's an industry, you can have financial gains. Name a profession. I'm sure that there's a line that can get you up to getting paid well.
Fair.
Like even if you're doing services or you're a cleaner, like you could own a cleaning business. You're a barber. You're doing hairstyling. Like you'd own a barbershop.
I agree.
Right? Like you could do
I agree.
anything.
I agree.
And turn that into something that's more. Heck, I'm running. Running is traditionally not something that makes money. Like most of the pro athletes there's a lot of the like sub elite, like almost professional runners that aren't sponsored and make no money doing it, but they're amazing at it. But you can find ways to make money in the industry, and I've figured that out.
Do you read books?
Yeah, I read, but I haven't been reading much the past couple of weeks. I actually just got a book. I opened it up this morning. It's from my buddy Oz Perlman. He's a mentalist. He's one of the most world-renowned mentalists.
Wait, what's the guy's name?
Oz Perlman. Get him on your pod.
Pretty sure I've heard of him.
Oz, this pod, you need to be on here. It is.
Make it happen.
He reads people's minds. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast a couple months ago, and he's a huge runner too.
Oh, I know who this guy is.
Yeah, and he goes into like NFL locker rooms, like in the meetings, and it's like really messes people up. And I pre-ordered his book. And when I say messes people up, like mentally, like he's like guessing people's social security number.
I saw the clip with Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
He guessed his phone password.
Yeah, exactly. He does like crazy deep mental tricks. I just got Oz's book. I pre-ordered it maybe 6 months ago, and I got it throughout the marathon weekend. And I finally had a moment, and I went to open it up, and I was like, I don't have my coffee. And my whole morning got messed up.
What books have you? What types of books have you prioritized reading in your life?
Yeah, I've done a lot of, I guess self-help, but like a lot of like, some of the books I really like are like, Borrowing Brilliance is a cool like entrepreneurial book. I've done a lot of those type of books. I've done founder stories. There's a cool book called Do Hard Things that's more like self-helpy. I've done a lot of those type of books, and they're getting old for me. I'm open to other reads. That's why I'm really pumped about Oz.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good book.
Yeah.
I asked this question because literally the first day I met you, that first FaceTime call, after we started talking, the first thing that came to mind is this guy studies human nature.
Yeah.
Like, this guy knows human nature pretty well. Has books influenced you through that? Have you studied a certain person, or where'd you get this knowledge?
Rich Roll is someone that I read his book called Finding Ultra, and he inspired me to go vegan for several months, and also inspired me to run my 50-mile race, which like without that book, it's a cool running book. I mean, it's definitely self-helpy, but it shows like his story is like later on in life, after being like a very serious like collegiate athlete, later on in life, like he's lost touch with reality and like looked to substances to kind of cope with his different things that he was dealing with. And like in his 40s and 50s, he became a professional triathlete and like really went hard and became like a world-renowned ultramarathon runner, and showed that anyone can do it despite age or despite adversity. So like that's a cool story, and he made me realize like I can run 50 miles for sure.
Why vegan?
You know, that's an interesting one. I did some, there's a book, 12 Ways to Die or How to Die, and it talks about all the different ways that we die as humans, and heart disease is the number one reason.
Yeah.
Like more than car crashes, more than anything, more than cigarettes, it's heart disease. And if you have high cholesterol, like you could have heart disease.
Yeah.
And being vegan, you don't eat any processed meats or any meats, and it's healthier for your heart. So I tried that for a bit. And a lot of ultra runners, a lot of marathoners are vegan.
Why'd you quit?
I think for many reasons it just wasn't working for me, and I craved having red meat. And I also think part of the reason why I broke my back is I wasn't getting enough protein.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Because what, you got to rip like tofu or something?
Yeah, I mean, I was taking like vegan protein supplements, and I was eating like beans, and
That doesn't sound fun.
yeah, I mean, I actually quite enjoyed it. I actually made a vegan cookbook.
What?
I have a cookbook. It's a PDF. It's called Lads Recipes, and it's
Sell it.
It's a PDF.
Are you selling it?
No, I'm not selling it, but I'll add you as a contributor after. There's a lot of vegan recipes, and they're good. Like you could go through a whole week and have vegan recipes. So I liked it. I leaned into it, but I was like dialed. When I say I was dialed, I was a freak of nature for this 50-mile race training period. Yeah.
All right. This is what I want to touch base on next.
Okay.
I mentioned a little bit of like human nature. dude, like I'm serious impressed, bro. And I want to pick your brain about this stuff. But this question right here relates a little bit. What books or thinkers do you think help shape endorphins into a tribe and into a family?
Yeah. There's a book called Impact Networks that talks about having purpose when you bring people together. At every single one of the Endorphins events across the world, if you go, we start with the same exact thing. And I think that whether it's a run or it's bring people together for a group dinner or it's for a club or for any gathering, a meeting at work, before you start, you need to tell people why you're there. For us, at our events, we say the mission of Endorphins is to spread positivity and happiness. If you see someone you don't recognize, introduce yourself. We say that at all of the events that we host. Now, every single person knows we're not a dating club. You're here to make friends. It's also cool to say hello to other people. We invite people to, and we're here to make connection for people. We're inviting that early and often. That is when, that is our North Star. We say it. We tell people why you're here. It doesn't matter if there's one person or 1,000 people. We say it at every single one of our events. I think that should be the same way you host a meeting. This is what we're trying to get out of this meeting today.
So set the intention.
Yes, setting your intention, setting the purpose of why you're gathering is probably the most successful thing that we do.
In that book, does it mention, though, changing the intention? Can you ever change the intention? Or for you guys, it sounds like every single one has to be the exact same intention.
Well, we know why we exist. And I think when we're building a brand, it's important to keep that consistent. So if you were to go to an event in Chicago versus going to an event in Austin versus going to an event in Dallas, you're going to get the same experience.
How do you manage? Because you're in New York. You have no say of what's going on in Austin or what's in Chicago or this.
It's empowering others to be leaders.
Okay.
We're giving people the keys to the car to the brand because we trust them and we believe in them and they're stewards of the brand and we empower them. We give them access to opportunities. We actually have resources that we've carved out as Endorphins grows to make sure that they feel empowered by giving them budget to operate their cities. Okay. So that way they can buy coffee for their people or buy donuts after a run or bring people bowling or do whatever they need to do. Then we also reimburse them for bibs when they are going to do races. No questions asked, send us a receipt, we'll reimburse their bibs. So we're giving them access opportunities, we're giving them empowerment. And also, like I said earlier, when you are facilitating connection, it's a labor of love, but you actually are receiving 10x that impact because you're helping people make these friends. You're at the center of this moment of connection. So I think that's how we have really strong leaders and they all believe in the mission. Right. They all believe in why they're there. They all understand why we exist and they want to facilitate connection at scale.
Okay, so number one, building a tribe community, setting the intention.
Totally.
What else goes into it?
There's a bunch of different books and studies of the 5 different habits of communities or cults. I think ritual is really important.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, ritual is really, really important. So outside of saying the same things at the events, it's also meeting at the same places and the same times.
Okay.
People in Endorphins don't need to look at our app if you're a regular because on Monday mornings, Westside Highway 645, we'll be there.
Okay.
It's a ritual. People know that it's happening. People know on Saturday mornings here in New York City at 8 a.m., we're going to be doing a long run of 8 to 10 miles.
What other rituals do you, when I think of rituals, I think of in faith, sign of peace, stuff like that. Do you have that type of stuff?
No, it's not culty like that. I think the mission is a little, that would be the closest thing, just saying it and aligning purpose and intention and setting the reason of why we're gathering. And then also spreading, I'll use a word that might be associated to faith is gospel of what endorphins means, and explaining to people that you don't even have to go to the events to find value out of being part of this group. Is you can find value in a lot of different ways, and just educating people on what it means to be part of it, and educating people on if you see someone wearing endorphins in the street, say what's up.
Yeah.
And that happens. It's like Jeep. If you see another person with a Jeep, you wave. Right. That would be a part of our ritual. If you see someone wearing endorphins gear on a race course and you're also a part of our tribe, say what's up. Hey, I run with the Austin group. No way, I'm from Pittsburgh and I run with the Pittsburgh group.
Got it.
So those are cool little moments. People are educated to wear their gear around race weekends because they might run into someone else that they know that's part of the tribe, which is really, really, really cool. We make these sweatshirts that we're going to get you one and you now have a shirt.
Yeah, please.
It's cool to say what's up to people, and we say that at our events. If you see someone you don't recognize, say what's up. So it all is connected.
Who's the out group?
I don't think there's any out group. I just think that there are people that look at endorphins and say this is huge and it's become a movement, and it's sometimes I'll like relate it to coffee shops. I was thinking about this a lot, obviously, because we're building coffee shops right now.
Yeah.
Like you have small little niche coffee shops, and then you have Starbucks. Like I would say, like we fit more of a Starbucks mold than we do like the niche little coffee shop in like East Village, just because we're
Meaning
everywhere.
just big.
We're everywhere, and like it's become a brand, and it's like it's not like a small little thing. Now there are pockets of small communities within our community, which is really special. Like we might have 500 people that show up in Washington Square Park to go to a run on Saturday morning, but then we have 14 pace groups. So that gets broken into tribes of 10, 12, 20, 30 people across 7-minute pace all the way to 12-minute pace. So you can find your tribe within a larger group, but yeah, I would say like we're larger. So the out group would be the people that are like, I want to be niche. I want to be cool.
Too cool for school.
Yeah, but I don't know if too school, like maybe, but like I don't want to discredit anyone that feels like they're in the out group. Like we're very inviting, and I think sometimes being welcoming isn't cool.
No, I agree.
Right?
I understand
like
what
being
you're saying.
inclusive isn't cool. It's cool to be nice, but like the cool kids are the ones that are exclusive. Like we're not like hosting many exclusive events. Like everything is open to the public, and like I think like the coolest things, traditionally like society tells you the cool things are the things that are hard to get or exclusive, and we're the complete opposite of that.
You should really define an out group though, like make it very known. And I know your goal is not to create a cult, but you kind of do have a cult, which is a good thing because every successful brand or politician or whatever, number one rule is you want to create a cult. But a big part of that is making an out group. Yeah,
I mean, we have bad actors, no different than in an office. Or when you bring 20 people together, you're going to find people that are interested in each other romantically, but you also might find someone that doesn't align politically or doesn't align personally or professionally with your ethos, right? When we have people that come to our events that are being weird with girls, like that happens all the time. Like that would be an out group. Are you serious? Yeah, I mean, bring people together at scale, 2,000 events a year. You're going to get people that are doing something weird. It happens.
You've had a bunch of instances with that.
We haven't had many, but we've had a few where we've had to take measures and we've had to tell people they're not allowed back. And and we have safety protocols for all our leaders so they know what to do when something like this happens. We also have the tech now to remove them and their IP addresses from our software so they can't virtually connect with others. We delete their accounts, like they can't get in. So like there's ways that we can protect our members, which is really cool. And yeah, I mean, those would be an out group of people.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. So yeah, that would be an out group.
Okay.
Bad actors.
Yeah. I'm going to list off a couple of, I guess, like pillars of branding, just one words. I just want to hear your take, once you hear this word, how it relates to what you're building at Endorphins. The first one is influence.
I think this is something that I struggled with early because I didn't realize that we were defining culture for others in the running world. Like I didn't realize that we were going to be at the precipice of like a huge wave of run clubs. And now I have people that are trying to bring people together, hearing podcasts like this or hearing us talking about things. And I didn't realize that like we had one of the coolest things, one of my favorite things, we just hosted a shakeout run for New York, and we had 25 different run clubs from across the world also on the flyer, and we supported them. They look at New York City and the things that we're doing and try and emulate that with their groups, which is really, really cool.
Super cool.
But it also is scary because like I want to make sure that we can host the best experience possible for them because that's the level and quality of work that we aspire to achieve in everything that we do. So I think there's influence, and we're influencing run groups all across the world, which is then defining culture for running all across the world. And now that we're growing at the pace and size that we are, like we're really at the forefront of like the next wave of running.
Dude, so that's an interesting standpoint. You can think of it as like vultures. So like once you do something good, it's inevitable. People are gonna try to copy you, steal your work, and do it better.
That vulture is not how I would describe it. I would say it's inspiration.
What do you mean?
Like vulture sounds like there's negative connotation, but like if someone tries to emulate what we're doing, I feel like that's the highest form of flattery. Like I welcome anyone to build a pop-up for their race because they can create better experiences for their people. Like I'm not competitive with other run communities or groups. Like please try and like if you can provide the level of care that we're providing for our people and our community, please. Like
but you just said that scares you.
It scares me because I want to make sure that if we have all
you're the best.
It's not necessarily that we're the best. It's like all eyes are on us. I want to make sure that if people are trying to emulate what we're doing, we're putting our best foot forward so that way they can follow and do the same.
So there's no competitive flow at all where, oh, this guy's, there's got to be a little bit inside, even with content. I'll just transparently, I do something and I see something goes on. I'm like, are you serious, bro? Like, you're really just going to straight up copy me like this?
Yeah.
And it makes me mad.
Early on, I felt that way when I thought we were a run club. But I don't see us as a run club anymore. I see us as a community that has a run club and also has these training resources, and like all of it together is our community. And like, we want to empower other running communities. We want, like, again, we've been talking about connection the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, if the world needs more of it, like many people might be like, we don't need any more run clubs, but like, I think that we do. We need as many different ways for people to come together in person as possible. So like, I welcome it and I want to empower them.
Do you think that mindset made Endorphins more successful?
Yes, because when we have competition, then that creates out groups. Like,
I gotcha.
When we have a club that is like, oh, screw endorphins, like now we have a whole group of people that is naysaying what we're doing.
Money.
Right? And like, we don't subscribe to that at all, because we actually are like thinking, oh, that's amazing that this group is bringing people together. And I educate all of our leaders, like when we host shakeout runs or when we do events, like let's collaborate with other local communities and crews and like learn about their cultures and what they're doing and like trying to understand what makes them tick.
Interesting. What about next word, positioning?
Yeah, I think that's a little bit like positioning is into what we just discussed a little, but like I think right now positioning, as I think about it, is like redefining us from being a run club into just a running brand.
Yeah.
We have a run club and it's the ethos and it's our community, but like I think that it does a disservice to us because we do so much more than that. Like most run clubs don't have an app. Most run clubs don't have premium brand like partners that are going to help support the mission of what we're trying to do. And most people aren't hosting events at scale the way that we are.
Yeah.
So like I think many people in our local communities think of us as a run club. I see us as a running brand that has running events and also has an app that helps people train. And like, it's really educating people that like we have best in class resources, and whether that be through the events or through the training.
From purely business standpoint, what do you think your greatest strength is?
I think it's being able to help people connect, whether that's through our training or through.
From a purely business standpoint,
I think that's still our greatest strength. The reason being is anyone can code these days. Anyone can make an app. AI is making it super easy for anyone to build an app.
Right.
I think like the best brands today are the ones that are able to like create deep the best brands today are the ones that can build deep affinity and connection with their end consumers. And like we are making magical moments happen at scale for our community and our members, whether that's through the training resources and helping people make friends through training, or helping people achieve their goals, and then meeting someone at a shakeout run, or just going to the run club and never paying Endorphins a dime.
Yeah.
Like majority of our members don't pay Endorphins. They just go to our free events. But then we can have a brand like New Balance come in and support us, which then allows Endorphins to make some revenues that we can invest back into the community. So I would say the ability to bring people together and connect people is that differentiator. Like anyone can code a run app.
Right.
Anyone can do it.
Yeah, your strength definitely lies. I mean, it's like it's branded. Your brand is so good, but it's like it's almost deep rooted more into a mission and a purpose.
Yeah, exactly. We're totally mission oriented. Like every single pop up that we do, we make sure that mission is on the wall. Like when you walk in next to the coffee bar, right next to the coffee bar, it says the mission is spread positivity and happiness. So,
Gotcha.
But I think bringing people together is our strong suit, and it's my life's purpose. Like
what
that's
about
what I think about every day?
What about addiction?
Yeah, I think that's a really strong word. I don't love that word. I don't like it. I think that addiction has negative connotations. I think so does the word obsessed. Like I don't like those two words very much. I think that we're dialed in. We're locked in.
We're locked in.
We love it. We love it, man. I don't think addicted is the right way to describe what we are, what we do. I think that we love what we do. We love it. And because of that, we're locked in. Like it doesn't feel like work. Like I cannot wait to host another pop-up in 2 weeks. Like, I can't wait, even though it's going to take the living piss out of me. So yeah, addicted is not the right word.
Fire. All right. I got 2 more questions and then we'll wrap this up. So I saw a clip on Instagram the other day. I think it was right after the marathon, but it was this runner. I don't know what the guy's name was, but this is this runner who, after running the marathon, he made a video talking about how he was pissed that all these influencers are getting bibs.
I know the video.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I saw the video. I see these videos every day.
What's your response to that?
Yeah, this is complicated. I think that many people struggle with this, and we're going to clip this. This is going to be good. I'm ready to give my take. I've been reserving this one for a while. running influencers play a really important role in the broader running ecosystem. We have people that are documenting their journeys and they're inspiring others to get into the sport, which is really, really awesome. We have people that never thought that they could do something, and then they see content about someone who is on their journey, and then they say, you know what, I relate to this person, I'm going to do something hard for myself. And that's bettering humanity. So I think that content in the sport of running is really, really important because it helps people get into doing hard things and improving themselves and helping people achieve their goals. I think that's really, really awesome. Now, where it breaks down is when these influencers are getting access to opportunities that real core runners aren't getting access to. That's where people might find, I think the word might be jealousy, or people might not feel like it's fair that these influencers are getting access to opportunities that common folk aren't getting access to, and I think that's unfortunate. The fact of the matter is, brands are sponsors of these races, and the brands get access to Bibs, and they can do whatever they want with it. And some brands might give them to regular people that aren't creators, and some might give them to influencers. Mm-hmm. If you're a brand, and if you're in marketing, and you want to make the most out of having access to opportunities, obviously you're going to try and give the bib to a creator to 100%. Help spread the message. That makes sense. Why I love what we do with Endorphins is, while we did give bibs to some creators through our partnership with New Balance, majority of our resources actually went to people that don't have influence, and they could then run the race and achieve their goals because we had access to these resources. So I do think that it's unfortunate that influencers are getting the majority of these opportunities, and maybe they're not even qualified to do so, but they play a role in the broader ecosystem, which helps the whole entire thing work. And I will also say, before all these running influencers, before myself started posting on TikTok about running, it was really easy to get into these races. So that's the really big downside, is there's so many people. The running boom is
huge.
New York City Marathon happened this year, and many people are is running over, no. You have every single person posting, even whether they were in the race or not, talking about how it's the best day ever.
My entire feed.
Right? And it's magical, and you have people leaving these experiences saying, I want to do this next year, which is, again, another self-fulfilling prophecy. So these influencers, they get bibs, they help pour gasoline on this fire. If you don't like it, you're going to have to deal with it, because brands are going to give the bibs to people.
It's business at the end of the day.
It's business, right? If you're a brand and you have access to the bibs, you're going to give it to an influencer. And if you don't give it to an influencer, if an influencer gets hurt, if an influencer doesn't take the bib, it's going to go to waste. It's going to go to waste. So, I would rather have someone take the bib and help spread and inspire others to get into the sport versus have it go to waste.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, just for example, when I think of endorphins, you know who I think the number one person that drove a shit ton of traction to your brand? Really, really a lot, Jack.
Yeah.
Jack did you guys a lot of good.
Yeah.
That guy
awesome.
brought a lot of awareness to endorphins. But a guy like that, he made his entire mission these past couple months. It's I'm running.
Yeah.
Think about all the people that guy inspired through that.
Yeah, and what's the coolest thing about what happened with Jack, I loved his content. I haven't been able to run, so when I see other people doing it, I just tore my Achilles 6 months ago. I had back surgery 2 years ago. When I see people, when people are spreading positivity the way that our brand likes to, I get addicted to their content. There's the word, addicted. I love it, right?
Dang.
And I'm watching Jack post, and I'm like, we need this guy on our team somehow. We don't have the budget to be able to pay him. Let me see if New Balance will support him. And he now is so locked in, not because of the sport of running, because of the impact that he's making through the DMs that he gets through.
I bet.
Hey, I didn't think I could do it, but I'm going to do it because I saw you do it. And that is the coolest thing in the world.
Wait, so how did that fan out? You just reached out to Jack?
I reached out to Jack. I said, hey, I might have this opportunity. Are you interested? And we hopped on a FaceTime, and I knew that we would be tight, and now we talk 4 times a day.
Yeah, I know. He stayed at your place and everything.
Yeah, he's been staying at my place when he comes to New York. It's that. Those are the cool things, and now I'm feeling the benefits of the community that we're building through the resources and the opportunities and the access. And Jack's an outlier. He's become a really tight homie, and I spoke to him an hour before this podcast, and I'll probably call him right after. And I know, you guys, he introduced us, so that's really cool. Yeah, it's really special. And again, Jack is an outlier in the sense that majority of our resources don't go to people like Jack.
Right.
But Jack then can take our mission and run with it literally. And I would say that his brand and the things that he's posting about aligns with our brand so well that he's inspiring others, and he's going to attract people that would fit with our brand really well into our ecosystem.
Absolutely.
So he was a W for us, and W for New Balance, and W for the sport. And I can't wait to continue to support him as a person, as a friend. And I think that he's one of those people that can find more alignment in his life, and I'm pumped to help him find that.
Well said. All right, last question I got. This is a question from, I would say, one of our most loyal followers of the podcast. His name's Ben. Ben, if you made it this far, we've got your question. So Ben wanted to ask you this question, and he said, if you could relive one day from your past without changing anything, which day would it be?
It's a great question. Ben, you're a legend for this question. I'm going to take a moment to think about it because I think that it's a deep question, and I think you deserve getting a proper answer. I don't want to BS you. The things that immediately come to my mind are spending time with friends and family. Has nothing to do with running, has nothing to do with endorphins. It's like spending time with the people that I love the most. I'm thinking of actually moments that aren't necessarily happy, but they're moments that make me feel more close with my family. So that's what I'm thinking about, but I don't have specific examples other than during COVID, spending time with my family, which is crazy. And those weren't the most special days, but those are the days that I'll probably cherish the most. As an adult, being able to be spending time with my parents, that's a rare thing, and I value those times a lot. I don't think I have any specific day that's coming to mind. It would be really cliche to say the day of the New York City Marathon when I ran it. I think it would be cliche to say any of the running moments. I think time with my family is the most important thing. And I used to say health and family a lot in my content. I have a strong family. I don't have my health right now, but
I didn't know you tore your Achilles.
Yeah, that's 6 months ago.
How did you tear your Achilles?
Playing basketball.
Are you serious?
Yeah, playing basketball with the Achilles. But Ben, spend time with your family and tell your mom and dad that you love them.
Well said. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.